I know I'm super late on this one, but I finally beat Red Dead Redemption 2. I have a ton of footage of it, and I'm not gonna delete a bunch of gigabytes of data before putting it to good use, damn it. Red Dead Redemption 2 is one hell of a video game, I think. Sometimes I honestly question if it is a video game. And when I think it is a video game, I question if it's a good one or a bad one. You see, I have a rather love-hate relationship with this game. There are things I absolutely love about it, and then there are things that I absolutely loathe about it. Right, so here's the deal. I'm not here to suck Rockstar's dick. I'll come right out and say it. I think they're overrated just a touch sometimes, and I think their ego really went to their head when designing this thing. There's so much unnecessary what the fuck game design in this damn thing that people are only cool with it because it comes from the same guys who made Roman constantly call you to go bowling. I'm sorry to offend you here, boys and girls, but between extreme attention to detail bordering on OCD for some things, and then the extreme arcadiness of other things, I bet you think I don't like Red Dead Redemption 2. And the real answer is it's a bit more complex than that. I actually like all the major parts pretty well. Story, characters, aesthetic, the open world, the graphics, the animations. This is some of the most top-notch design I've ever seen in a lot of these areas, and it all deserves to be commended.
That is kind of brilliant.
Maybe if I talk about all the good stuff, you'll be more keen to listen to me about the bad stuff. So let's go. Holy shit, is this game beautiful to look at. From starlit skies, to sweeping mountains, to foggy, creepy swamps.
In my restless dreams, I see that town, Silent Hill.
It is one of the most graphically impressive games out there on consoles, for sure. I love the open world, how it all feels alive and bustling with animals and people roaming everywhere you go. And it seems like every corner you turn, you find something new, something cool, something that inspires you to explore even more. I love that. I also love the random encounters you have all over the place, and I love how much more unique they are than the random events in the first game, even if that means you can only encounter them just once. And dear Lord help me if Arthur Morgan isn't right up there with John Marston as one of my favorite protagonists in video games. The cast of characters that make up this game is so robust, and I at first thought it was kind of overwhelming how many there were, but by the end of the game, I knew all their names and faces, and the story does a great job of making your gang seem kind of like a surrogate family to each other. A highly dysfunctional one, but a family nonetheless. And lastly, this game has some of the best and most fluid animations I have ever seen for a non-scripted game. Even if they can take forever and slow things down. From looting bodies to picking up items to skinning animals and so on and so forth, the detail and smoothness of the animations and the programming behind making them so dynamic while making sure the right animations play for the right height, location, item, and so forth is so damn impressive to me, it deserves to be commended. Now, if you'd be so inclined to join me while I nitpick the crap out of Red Dead 2 and contradict everything I just said.
You are a compulsive liar.
Let's start with the controls. Holy shit, are these things a fucking mess in 3/3. Nothing is consistent at all. At this point, the only completely dedicated button I know in this game that I am 100% sure of what it does is that R2 shoots my gun. Everything else just seems to change all the time. Sometimes it's square to loot something. Sometimes it's triangle. Sometimes triangle mounts your horse. Sometimes it makes you sit. Sometimes L2 locks onto people so you can talk to them. Sometimes L2 raises your gun at them. Sometimes you have to hold buttons down. Sometimes you have to tap them rapidly. Sometimes you have to do both. Sometimes the game isn't clear about it and you get killed by a fucking train. In the David versus Goliath wrestling match against the controls, sometimes everything goes perfect and you feel like a total badass.
Great bastards.
And sometimes everything goes completely wrong and you're left wondering, what the fuck just happened? And you know what else I hate? I hate how this game just likes to rip my control of it away at times. Not even in a cutscene, but during exploration in the open world. From my horse plowing headfirst into trees because the built-in obstacle avoidance is fighting my steering, to just flat out railroading me into not being able to do anything until this game plays out exactly how it wants to and I get to play again. Alright, perfect example. So I found this guy whose friend got mauled by a bear. Now, I'm not a doofus. I play video games. So I know this bear is gonna show back up. Oh shit, there he is! Let me take out my gun. Fucking lock on to the thing! Come on, oh, we are locked on. Aim the gun! Shoot him! Fuck! Horse, where the fuck you going? Ah! You see, here's what happened in this clip. The game decided that in this open world that thrives on me being able to do what I want, when I want, I wasn't allowed to do that anymore. And I had to watch the bear maul this guy and I could do nothing to save him. So even though I had my guns drawn, and was locked onto the bear, it wouldn't aim my guns at it. I had to manually aim my guns at it, which is inconsistent with how the rest of the game plays. When I finally got my guns to shoot, it didn't matter, because the bear was invincible. How do I know it was invincible? Well, you see, I shot it in the skull with a rifle and skinned it, and I got a perfect quality pelt. How does a perfect pelt prove it was invincible, you ask? Well, that's a great question that will allow me to pivot over to hunting. Hunting is an overcomplicated, most of the time fruitless endeavor that takes forever, and is usually a waste of time, but also needed to upgrade your inventory and also make sick new clothing. Allow me to first walk you through a hunting scenario. First things first, you gotta mask your scent, dismount, and pick what 2 weapons you want to have for hunting on you, because your handguns are worthless when it comes to hunting. For those 2 weapons, you either need to go for what you exactly want to hunt, or play it safe and have a high-powered and low-powered weapon to have a chance of success. You see, your weapon choices are important, because animals come in 3 different qualities ranging from 1 to 3 stars, and the more stars, the better. This determines the value of the goods you get from the hunt, and if you want to preserve its value, you have to get a one-shot kill with the right weapon, or you'll lose 1 to 2 stars of quality on the animal. So pivoting back to my bear example, the reason I was able to get a perfect pelt was because the game concluded I one-shot killed the bear with the right weapon, despite me littering it with revolver bullets. Maybe it works differently with bears? Nope, because here's footage of me shooting the fuck out of another bear and getting a poor pelt as a result. Oh, but I'm not done with hunting. Why do we need perfect pelts anyway? Thanks for the rhetorical question, Jimmy. It's because anything lower than that is useless, because you can't use it for crafting, and it's worth 25 cents when you sell it. Essentially, hunting is a big game of find the needle in the haystack, and it gets really tedious after a while. You have to be in the right spot with the right weapon, happen to find the best quality animal, which is not as easy as it sounds sometimes thanks to RNG, and then get the perfect shot on that animal. If any of those steps are wrong, well, you're fucked and you wasted your time. Oh, and don't let your horse step on it either, because that ruins it too. So hunting on horseback is usually treacherous because your horse has a tree magnet in its head, but also foolhardy, because you add an extra category for you to fuck something up in and ruin your hard work. So then why even have an animal quality system if only one of the 3 qualities has any use? That kinda boggles my mind. It's useless, it's pointless. Oh, but I still did it, and got the best satchel in the game that lets you carry 99 of every item, and it was well fucking worth it at the end of the day, let me tell you. But it don't change the fact that so much of this game is fruitless at times. Like poker, for instance, where you play for literal pennies. You know, between the 2 other people playing, if I win enough, that's maybe enough money to buy a pair of pants. What the hell is the point? I'd rather sell shitty 1-star pelts all day. At least I don't have to deal with the rigged poker games.
It's something like that. Can we play?
There's just so much tedium here in this game. Your inventory is a mess, for one. Can we get like an update that adds some organization here? Like, I don't know, maybe put at least all the health items next to each other or something? Fucking Final Fantasy IV on the SNES could do that. Then there's all the micromanagement. You have to take care of not only a health, stamina, and Deadeye bar, but also the regen rates for those 3 bars, and then also the health and stamina bars of your horse, and the regen rates of those 2 bars. And you also have to watch your weight, which I still don't get because my cores are always fucking full from eating like a pig, and I'm perpetually underweight, and I don't even have tuberculosis yet. My horse is dirty. It's a fucking animal! Animals are dirty! What? Fuck me. Let's go for a bath, horsey. There we go. Let's get you nice and pristine. Ah, what the fuck? You know what? It's only a matter of time before I get a "you are dirty" prompt, so let me get myself cleaned up. How about a bath? You have got to be fucking kidding me. I literally have to scrub my head. We're really doubling down on this whole realism thing. This is the kind of stuff I thought we make fun of David Cage for.
Would you like someone to take over for you?
Ooh, I like where this is going. 50 cents? That's like 6 poor pelts.
Good, yeah.
This ought to be good. Why, hello there.
Now don't you worry about a thing.
Now this is more like it.
All right, I think that should do it.
Hey, wait, that's it? Where you going, lady? Well, hold on now, that cost me 50 cents. That's 25 for a scrub and 25 for a tug. Ah, I can't even get laid in this game. It's too realistic. But it's only realistic if being realistic fucks you over. And when being realistic would help, this game is just like, nah, we're a video game, sorry son. Like, for instance, when you crash into someone on a horse, and instead of getting the chance to say you're sorry, or to help them up, or even give them a ride because you killed their fucking horse, but yours is fine because it's made of steel, they'll just open fire on you like this was part of your grand master plan to rob them. Dude, you literally came out of the fucking abyss. I'm sorry I didn't see you. I was too busy watching my 10 meters that I have to make sure are full, and people think fighting games are hard. And if this happens to you, you're better off just letting them kill you, especially if you want high honor. Because even though they shot at you first, and may have even crashed into you, you're the bad guy in this situation, and you'll lose honor and get a bounty if you retaliate. Jeez, why is everybody in this game a sociopathic, homicidal maniac with an insatiable bloodlust? I thought I was the dirty outlaw in this game. Turns out I'm the most docile person in the Wild West, judging by this bullshit. Oh, come on, what did I even crash into? Anybody gonna start shooting at me? Anybody at all? I'm expecting it any minute now. No? We're good? We're in the clear? I wouldn't be surprised if I did get shot from someone I couldn't see there. Is it me, or are all the enemies in this game eagle-eyed marksmen more omniscient than God who never miss a shot even when you can't even see them? I admit, my eyesight is garbage, but holy hell do I believe in the magic bullet theory now, because I am 90% sure the guy in the back curved his shot around the canyon to kill me. Oh, and make sure you always go for headshots, because even regular civilians are tanky as fuck. Not that getting headshots is hard so long as you abuse the lock-on system for aiming. Don't try to aim manually, though. It turns out that Arthur Morgan has Parkinson's alongside tuberculosis. While we're on the subject of enemies, this game loves to just throw them at you in droves. I mean, geez, Micah and I pretty much murdered half the population of Strawberry in a single mission, judging by its size. I wouldn't be surprised if we just killed every able-bodied male between the ages of 18 and 50. I'm only really joking here, but it always makes me laugh because even though games try so hard to be immersive and realistic, at the end of the day, they're still video games. A lot of missions are like this, where it honestly feels like you kill an insane amount of people for locations that have so few NPCs in them, in what are essentially shooting galleries. It's okay though, it's kind of to be expected, but fucking hell, how many Braithwaites are there? How many lines of this family tree did I just extinguish? So I mentioned before that I really like the story in Red Dead 2, and I stand by this. I love the characters. I think most of the beats make sense and build on each other nicely, except for that whole business in Guarma, but I don't have footage of that, so we're gonna skip it. What I must be critical about is the missions in this game though. After a while, they start to seem very formulaic. It should be no surprise to anyone that Rockstar has a criminal fetish. Whether you're an angry Eastern European man or a schoolyard delinquent, all of their games tend to be about people breaking the rules. But I can't help but feel they use that as a crutch sometimes. One thing I liked about the first Red Dead game was you weren't a criminal per se, but you also weren't the ultra good guy either. You were a bounty hunter working to get the job done. Sometimes you were on the side of the law, sometimes you were swindling people with a snake oil salesman. Sometimes you fought for the government, Other times you were teaming up with revolutionaries. It kind of freed Rockstar from the usual pattern of go here, rob this, go there, kill them, go this way, steal that. In Red Dead 1, every mission kind of felt like something new and built off of the last one. In Red Dead 2, a lot of stuff gets repeated. Rob a train, rob a stagecoach, rob a bank, attack a house. One more big score, Arthur. Rob a stagecoach, attack a house, rob a bank. One more big score till Mango's, Arthur. Rob a train, rob a stagecoach. Tahiti, Arthur, attack a house. I don't know, I just feel like because Rockstar went with the whole outlaw thing this time, they wrote themselves into a corner that made a lot of the missions sort of repetitive. Don't get me wrong, there's plenty of missions that don't follow this pattern too, like this one where you torch some farm fields, and I love the second to last mission where you raid the oil refinery with the Wapiti, but a lot of the major story beats in this game are all based around robbery after robbery, and it just kind of got old to me at the end. Other than that, my biggest gripe with the missions is that there's so much railroading that it drives me nuts. You have almost zero freedom how you approach anything, and this game at times forces you to do stuff you don't want to do. I'm gonna walk you through an example. So I was in camp checking out horses, and this bastard decided to kick me in the fucking face. I go to Hosea, and he tells me all about this legendary bear. Says we're gonna take a ride up there and hunt it. Okay, sounds good. Imagine my surprise to me being forced to ride the bastard who face punted me for no reason. Why can't I take my horse? I have one. I rode here on it. So Hosea says we're gonna go to the stables, and I can sell or keep the horse. Well, considering I hold grudges more closely than a dwarf in Warhammer, I'll take the cash and walk away, thank you. But fuck! Now I don't have a horse and I gotta buy one. Well, fuck me. There's only one I can afford and I have to buy it. And if I didn't have to buy it, the game did an awful job of letting me know that. So damn it, I guess this is my new horse. And it's not even a good horse, I can tell by the price. So be it. Oh, I get to name it? Alright, well, how about Ugly as Fuck? I think that's a fitting name. Excuse me? I'm sorry. I thought this game was rated fucking M for foul language. My mistake. I didn't realize it was rated T. For what the fuck is this shit? Alright then, how about, Filthy Scrub? Does that work? Oh cool, I get to customize him. And I just accidentally bought a saddle. Guess you only needed to press the button for that one. Right, well, let's go, Filthy Scrub. We have a bear to hunt. I just want to make a brief side note here about how I was so spiteful about being forced to pay $15 for a horse I didn't want that I used Filthy Scrub for the entire game as my only horse, determined to get my money's worth. And I won't lie, I grew to love that son of a bitch, despite him constantly pissing me off with his controls every chance he got. And when he died during the final mission, it genuinely brought a tear to my eye. But I digress. So Hosea and I get to the bear, and I find his poop and whatnot, and we put down some bait. After only 2 seconds, impatient Hosea is like, let's check on the bait to make sure it's still there, and we didn't miss the bear. Hosea, it's a fucking bear! There is a 0% chance we're gonna miss the 1,000-pound bear eating bait in front of us. But he's old and senile, so I guess we gotta go. And there's the bear, right on cue. Oh, well, at least I get to put some bullets in his head before he mauls both of us for being idiots, Hosea. Great. Another invincible bear. Fuck me. Why would I expect anything less? I can stay here and hunt after Hosea leaves, but fuck that. Any bear who takes that many revolver shots to the face and is totally fine is legendary in my book. Fucker deserves to live. I know I went very in-depth with this one mission, but there's a lot that are like this, where you're allowed pretty much zero freedom in how you approach anything. It's very cinematic, sure, and sometimes it's even fun, but it's so contradictory to the rest of the gameplay that it can be pretty frustrating. Oh, hold on, my gun is almost as dirty as my horse. Let me hold down a button to clean it. So I think you might have a better picture now about how I feel about this game. And let me tell you, this video is pretty cathartic for me. You know, it was actually kind of nice to have a laugh about some of these things while also raging about them while playing. And I'll be a filthy scrub myself if I said I wasn't still playing Red Dead 2. There's so much more to uncover in the epilogues and post-game, and I'm convinced there's a Sasquatch in this game somewhere, and not just a shitty one hidden behind a rock that you can't see, too. And I want to know what's up with Butcher's Creek, because despite the quest line for that town, Both that and the pentagram has left me with more questions than answers. And you know, I'd be a lying asshole if I said I wouldn't be interested in single-player DLC too. I see everyone saying that they're gonna remake the first game as DLC, and honestly, I don't know if I'd be into that. I could just go play the first game, and I kinda like that one better. But, you know, some type of supernatural DLC would be dope, because running into a vampire in Saint Denis was not enough for me. But we know that's not gonna happen. Instead, they're gonna milk the online mode for all it's worth, which is exactly why I haven't even played it. So take that, Rockstar. That's for the $15 you made me spend on a horse that I didn't want and I ended up loving anyway. Come on, filthy scrub. Let's get out of here.